So hello friends, in this lecture we are going to discuss about specific gravity and compressibility. So let me first discuss about the specific gravity. In the previous lecture we have already discussed about density, then specific weight and specific volume.
ये जैसे प्रिंसिपल में मैंने फॉरवर्ड કર્યો છે ફીસ રિપોર્ટ નો હમણાં લેટેસ્ટ આવે ને બી એ મારા પર ફોરવર્ડ કરી દો મને
जी सर
મને નથી મોકલ ભૂલી ગયા કે એટલે ફોરવર્ડ કરી દો
जी सर. And also we have discussed about dynamic viscosity and kinematic viscosity, MKS and CGS unit of the dynamic and kinematic viscosity. Now, based on the previous definitions of the density, we are knowing that the density of the liquid is which kind of property? Density of a liquid is intensive type of property, which means it does not depend upon mass. Okay, so density of the reference liquid, now mind well, which is equals to density of water, and how much it is? It is 1000 kg per meter cube, but that is called reference liquid. Now we are dealing about the fluid mechanics subject. So fluid mechanics, what do you mean by fluid? Can liquid is considered as a fluid? Yes. Can gas can be considered as a fluid?
No.
Yes. Yes. See, fluid means liquid or gas. So right now we have already discussed about the liquid part, correct? So specific gravity is equals to either density of any liquid divided by density of water, or you can say density of the reference liquid fluid. But as I have already discussed with you that fluid means either gas or liquid. So we have already discussed about the liquid part right now. But what about the gaseous part? If any gas having certain density, any particular gas, okay, so if we want to find out the specific gravity of that particular gas, so what we need to do? We need to divide it with the density of air. And as the density of water is equals to 1000 kg per meter cube, in the similar manner the density of air is equals to 1.22 kg per meter cube at standard temperature and pressure, at STP. Sometimes you will heard this word, not in case of the GTU examination, but when you are doing some practical work or if you visit certain industries, then they are going to use such kind of word, standard temperature and pressure. What it means? The pressure is atmospheric pressure, which is nothing but 1.013 bar, and the temperature is 25 degrees centigrade, which is nothing but sea level temperature, the standard temperature at the sea level. So if whenever it is written what is the density of the water? 1000 kg per meter cube, but at which condition? At standard temperature and pressure condition. What is the standard temperature and pressure condition? That you are already knowing. It might be let's take a further step, that one is not familiar with the bar, means 1 bar is equals to how much Pascal? So 1 bar is equals to 10 raised to 5 Pascal. This is related to your fundamental, nothing related to your theory part over here. So everything about the specific gravity is clear now. Is there any doubt? What do you mean by specific gravity? Suppose any liquid having a density of the mercury is equals to 13,600 kg per meter cube. Now those who are viewing this video, pause this video and write down the answer of specific gravity of the mercury in the comment section. Also you three needs to give the answer. What should be the specific gravity of the mercury? What would be the specific gravity of the mercury? What would be the answer of the specific gravity of the mercury? 13,600 divided by mercury is a liquid. So divided by density of water. How much it is? 1000. 13,600 divided by 1000, it means 13.6. So I can write down here the specific gravity of mercury is equals to how much? Is equals to 13,600 divided by 1000. It means 13.6. So now you are very much clear that how to use such kind of relationship while solving the examples. Suppose in the data it is given the density of a particular liquid is something, then divided with respect to 1000, you will get specific gravity. If the specific gravity is given in the data that the specific gravity of a following liquid is certain, so multiply it with 1000 and you will get the density of that particular liquid. So in that manner, the specific gravity is going to be used in case of solving the examples. Now let's discuss about the another compressibility, the second phenomena. Okay. So in case of compressibility, it represented by bulk modulus. Compressibility is equals to inverse of the bulk modulus, and bulk modulus is represented by K. So what is K now? K is equals to minus dP divided by dV by V. K is equals to minus dP divided by dV by V. So what it means? It means change in pressure. dP means change in pressure, and dV, what it means? dV means change in volume. And if we combine this part dV divided by V, if we combine this part dV divided by V, then it is called volumetric strain. So suppose in the examination it is asked that what is the definition of the bulk modulus? So what is the definition of the bulk modulus? It is the ratio of change in pressure with respect to volumetric strain. And one can easily remember this concept, volumetric strain. Generally we are knowing stress and strain diagram. What is strain in that particular thing? Change in length delta L divided by original length. So in the same manner, if the volume, change in volume divided by the original volume, that is called volumetric strain, where delta L by L is longitudinal strain, means it is the strain with respect to length, and this is the strain with respect to volume. Now one may observe here negative sign. So why this negative sign is intentionally put it in this equation? Let's talk about it. So compressibility, when the compressibility phenomena occur, in case of compressibility phenomena, we need to consider one vessel in which the piston is moving from originally at the bottommost position to finally at the topmost position. So here is the final position of the piston. So what happens in between? See, initially the volume is this much, V1, correct? Whatever will be the volume between the top surface of the piston and the top surface of the vessel, that many space is considered as an initial volume. But what is the final volume? This is final volume. When piston moves in upward direction in order to compress the gas molecules which are available within the cylinder. So the final volume, one can easily visualize that the final volume V2 is very less than the V1. So final volume is less than the initial volume, and we are knowing that if we move from one position to another position, and if we want to find out the change in the position, what we are doing? Generally we are taking dV is equals to V2 minus V1. Final position minus initial position, and we are knowing that the final position having lower value and initial position having higher value. So the combined whatever will be the answer must be in a negative manner. In order to curve it in a positive manner, this negative sign is intentionally provided. So now you can visualize clearly, as the volume reduces, pressure gets increased. When the volume is available largely, the pressure is very less. Suppose इसको समझने के लिए हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि अगर गैस की टंकी में से मैंने थोड़ा सा गैस यूज कर लिया तो क्या होती है, गैस की टंकी, गैस कम हो जाता है, गैस का प्रेशर भी कम हो जाता है. बट अगर मैंने गैस की टंकी अभी नई लगाई है गैस के लिए, तो वहां पर प्रेशर हमें ज्यादा मिलेगा क्योंकि कंप्लीटली पैक्ड है, वहां पर जगह नहीं है. सो जितना जगह कम उतना प्रेशर ज्यादा, जितना जगह ज्यादा उतना प्रेशर कम. So that is the phenomena. So initially the pressure is P1 is less and final pressure is high. So dP value would be P2 minus P1, and then we are knowing that the P2 value will be high and P1 value will be less. So dP value, whatever will be the result, it must be in a positive manner, but dV value must be in a negative manner. That's why this negative sign is intentionally provided in case of the bulk modulus equation. So now I hope the definition of the bulk modulus is clear in your mind, and also the phenomena of why the negative sign is provided and what do you mean by the compressibility, that is also clear in your mind. Clear? So now let's discuss about one more concept, that is called vapor pressure. In fact, it's a theory type of question, but let's discuss here. So vapor pressure is nothing but if such kind of situation is occur when one vessel is available and it contains certain amount of liquid into it, okay, having a upper surface free. So this liquid particles, because there is a presence of air over here, so this liquid particles will become some of the liquid particles from the free surface of the liquid. This is called free surface of the liquid. And from this free surface of the liquid, some of the liquid particles gets evaporated. And this vapor particles, if exerts pressure on the liquid surface, then it is called the vapor pressure. So what it means? It means that if somehow this air presence within this gap, if somehow the pressure of the air, which is generally atmospheric pressure, if this air pressure can be reduced to the vapor pressure of the liquid, then what will happen? The vapor bubble will generate. Vapor bubble means this liquid becomes gaseous, become like air bubbles. So this vapor bubbles will generate. When it will generate? When the atmospheric pressure or the pressure of the above surface of the liquid come reduced to the vapor pressure of the liquid. I think it might be difficult for you, but let it be. When you revise it once and twice, you will get definitely the idea about what I am saying. If the vapor bubble is generated, then such vapor bubble, if it is generated in case of say turbine, in case of say compressor, then what will happen? Such vapor bubble, when it blasts, just due to the change in the pressure, suddenly, suppose I am suddenly opening this space. So what will happen? The pressure change may arise, and due to that pressure change, this vapor bubble will blast and it will erode the material of the turbine, and such kind of phenomena is called cavitation. So that's it from the today's lecture. I hope you are writing your assignments. So now what you need to write down in your assignments: the first property, mass density; the second property, specific volume; the third property, specific gravity; the fourth property, specific weight; the fifth property, kinematic viscosity; the sixth property, dynamic viscosity; the seventh property, compressibility; and eighth property, vapor pressure. If you are having any doubt, please comment in the comment section. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.